First of all, Carolina, so nice to meet you.
I love how you guys say Carolina. It's perfect.
Okay.
Most people call me Carolina or Carolina, and you guys say Carolina. It's great.
How are you enjoying the Dutch Comic-Con so far?
I love it. I was here 4 or 5 years ago, and it was great. And I'm back because you guys are great, so I'm having a good time.
Well, that answers my second question. Have you been to the Netherlands before?
A lot. I came 8 years ago, and then I came for Dutch Comic Con, and my sister lives here now. So I was here in November, so I've come like 5 times. To The Hague, Utrecht, and Amsterdam.
Okay, that's quite a lot. Yeah, then you're quite familiar with the
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
I love it.
I noticed that we have something in common.
Yes.
Because I noticed that you are a YouTuber.
I am a YouTuber.
Yeah, a YouTube series.
Yeah.
I have to say it correctly, Hispanglo-Saxon.
This is Carolina. Whatever.
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
What is that about?
I decided to make a sketch comedy web series. They're very short episodes. I play all the characters, and I'm just making fun of the world of casting and the auditions I've had to do in New York City and LA, and nobody believes that I can speak Spanish or Portuguese because I don't look Colombian.
Hi. Yes, that's me. Oh, honey, I think you signed in under the wrong character. Oh, my agency sent me in for ethnic saleswoman #1. But you're white. I know I'm pale, but I'm actually Hispanic. Well, do you speak Spanish? Yep. Are you sure you speak Spanish fluently? Yes, I'm sure I'm fluent in Spanish.
So I just started telling my real life stories in the format of sketch comedy, and that's what it is. So it's me wearing a bunch of wigs and doing accents and characters, and that's why the YouTube channel started. And then I've been putting videos up there with the voice actors from Overwatch and Valorant. So it's become like just a place where I put a lot of videos, but that's how it started.
You don't do the sketches anymore?
I did them at the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
All my characters had to survive the pandemic because Carolina was depressed on the couch. So they were like doing how-to YouTube videos. This was in early, I guess, 2020 when we were all stuck at home. So yeah, every year or year and a half, I kind of bring the characters back and I keep doing episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you become interested in acting?
Since I was 4 years old. I did a concert when I was very young, and I had a solo, and I loved it. And then I auditioned for a theater show when I was 4.5, I guess, and it was The Sound of Music, and I played one of the youngest kids, and I loved it. And since then, it was in school, it wasn't professional, but I've been acting in school since then, and then I knew I had to study it in college.
And from there it grew until, well, what you've done over the last years.
I knew it was the only thing that I really loved and that I was good at, so I pursued it.
Yeah. Then you also started doing voice acting?
You mean rule givers? There aren't any. We live here by ourselves.
Well, it wasn't a conscious choice. I didn't realize like, oh, I want to do video games. I think I just, I've always loved accents and voices. I wanted to do cartoons when I was a kid. I loved Robin Williams in Aladdin. He plays the genie, and he was also in Fern Gully as the little bat. And I loved him as a performer and as a voice person. And so I thought I want to do cartoons, but it didn't really happen in New York that much. But I would do some voice things here and there.
It's okay. I'll show you around. Because we all do our fair share to make this place the sickest it can be. Javier calls it our civic duty. Don't worry, you'll get to Pogo soon. Hopefully.
And all of a sudden the video game stuff started happening because there were auditions that would come, and I turned into a voice actress, but I wasn't pursuing it full on. I was always pursuing acting. And I just think it's a branch of acting, so it kept happening because I cultivate voices and languages and accents, so it was just something that with time I got better at it.
That is something I also noticed in your sketch shows on YouTube, that you do all these different kind of voices, so I can imagine that it's an easy transition. And
well, it helps, because if you're doing just one voice on a cartoon and they ask you to do like the little kid and then that mom and like random voices, you kind of have stuff in your repertoire that is different to the voice they choose you for. So I could do a little kid, or I could do a little lady or a man or whatever, and so there's just kind of fun stuff that we're nerds, so we like to do that stuff,
I'm guessing there's a lot of fun going on when you record the voices.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I love when we get to record as a group for an episode, because then you get to see other people work and they're awesome. Like the guys who play Soldier 76 and Hammond in our video game are incredible actors, and they're when I do sessions, I've gotten to see them in action, and it's so special because they're like veterans of the voice world. So it's a great way to learn from the best, you know.
Yeah, you do a voice in the game Overwatch.
I do.
You have no idea what it took for me to make this meeting happen. Relájate, I'm not going to kill you. I mean, I'm the one that set off the alarm.
Sombra, do you have the target?
Okay, listen. I'm here to make a friend and show you something I found.
Lucy, who's here, she also does a voice in Overwatch. Do you know each other from there, or did you know each other before?
Yeah, most of us met because we were on the game. So a few people knew each other before then, but most of us, we got to go to BlizzCon or to conventions after that with Overwatch, and so we all met, and that's how we became friends. So I didn't, even though Lucy and I lived in New York and we have a lot of overlap with work and stuff, we had never met until Overwatch.
When you are asked to do a character, how do you prepare for such a character?
It depends. I think that, you know, they always give you like a set of things that the character has, an accent, she's 35 years old, or she sounds like she's jaded, or she's really high energy, and so you kind of get those things and think, how can Carolina make that interesting, you know? And like another character that I voice is Raze in a video game called Valorant, and they just said she's energetic, she's bombastic, she loves explosives, and she has a Brazilian accent, and I couldn't help but immediately go like, here comes the party! Like, it just had to be crazy, and that's what became my ultimate, and which is the ultimate power. And so I don't know, it just came out of me, and I think that I really connected with her, you know? And so sometimes it comes very easy, and other times you have to sort of craft the character carefully.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
so very cool to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that kind of process, because is it very different from acting in a movie or in a TV series?
I think the one good thing is that it doesn't matter what you look like. So they're really not, they don't care if you're tall enough for that character or the right skin color or the right hair. It doesn't matter. Because a lot of the point of my web series is that I don't look Latina enough to play Hispanic. But for video games, I can sound like this and I sound Latina, you know, so I put an accent on and they believe that I'm Latina. So, you know, or if I talk like this, I sound like a smoker, but I don't really look like one. So it's just cool because we can basically do anything. We can be an alien, we can be a baby, we can be a horse. You know what I'm saying? In cartoons, we can be I'm a chicken in one episode of Cartoon Network, and I'm a sexy cat and an angry beaver. Like, that's so cool, you know? We can be anything, essentially.
Yeah.
And in film and TV, it's not like that. We play what we look like, usually.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool. And
Yeah.
you have a wider range of things that you can do.
We get to use our imagination a lot more, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I can only imagine that you have a busy schedule, but do you still have time for hobbies or anything like that? What are things you like to do when you don't have to work?
I love salsa dancing. So I've been trying to go dancing more in LA. Monday nights they have a place, it's a Cuban place with live music. So I danced with all the old men, all the Cuban old men of Los Angeles. I danced with last Monday. It was great. I love rollerblading. So I keep the rollerblades in my car, and if I have voice sessions near the ocean in LA, I stay out there and I rollerblade along the water, and then I come back home.
Okay, that's very nice. There's one thing I also noticed on your YouTube channel, that a trailer dropped very recently, a project, Morgan's Mask.
He did his research. Be proud of him. Good job. Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about that project?
Yeah, so in the middle of the pandemic, I got an email from a writer-director saying, I have a script, are you interested in reading it? I think you'd be right for the role. I was like, sure, send me the script. And I read the script in an hour, so fast, because I loved it. And it was about a gamer cosplayer who is going through the pandemic, living alone in her apartment, and she goes through like we all went through hell, essentially.
Yeah.
We learned some stuff, but it was tough. And she basically, it's the struggle of her online persona as she's streaming and staying like live and happy for the fans. But then when she turns the computer off, she's kind of depressed and lonely. So it's a movie that kind of goes through mental health stuff, social media addiction, feeling loneliness, trying to reconnect with family. And she goes through some dark stuff, and at the end, the idea is that it's sort of hopeful and she finds her passion again. But I loved it because my fan base is gamers and cosplayers. So I thought, wow, what a perfect little project to shoot in one location in my apartment with a very low budget and with a tiny crew, because there's still COVID. We didn't have the vaccine yet and anything. So we shot it with 8 people in 10 days. And we did a Kickstarter campaign, and a lot of the Overwatch fans donated. So that's what that is. We made it with very little money, and I just want to put it out there so that the community feels seen and represented, and hopefully they'll be inspired to, reconnect with their passion or whatever is important to them, because I think we all got a little depressed in the pandemic,
Definitely.
Yeah. And we went through some tough stuff, and especially gamers that come and tell me their stories. I've gone to over 50 Comic-Cons, so I meet a ton of gamers who say, I've been depressed, but Overwatch helped me, or your fun videos keep me going, so thank you. And I feel like that's a really beautiful thing. And so my character's very similar to a lot of those stories, and I spent the first 6 months of the pandemic living alone, and that's tough, because we turn on for Instagram to talk to our fans, but that doesn't mean that everything's perfect at home,
That's
true. Yeah. It's a very real film. It's very,
Yeah, I gotta say that the trailer really showed a lot of emotion in it. So when is it going to be released?
We don't know. We're still working on trying to find some sort of distribution, or maybe we'll do a Twitch premiere, and make it really fun for gamers and online viewers. So we're finishing the sound. It's not perfect yet, but once it's out, I'm going to put all that info on my Instagram and my YouTube and everything. So I hope to be sharing it soon, but we'll see how it goes down. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to show it at conventions too.
Definitely.
That would be a cool thing.
We'll keep an eye on it. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
And I've been practicing my Sombra's ultimate power.
Yeah.
In Dutch is "Doe de lichten out." He knows. It means in Spanish it's "apagando las luces." And I hack everyone's powers.
Very cool.
It's my electromagnetic pulse. He's like, what?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very lovely to talk to you and learn a bit more about you and your project. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Dankjewel.
The camera's rolling. First of all, Carolina, so nice to meet you.
I love how you guys say Carolina. It's perfect.
Okay.
Most people call me Carolina or Carolina, and you guys say Carolina. It's just great.
That must have been the fact that I know that you come from Brazil originally.
Colombia. It's okay. I work as a Brazilian a lot, so it's an easy confusion to make.
We have to make a cut.
We'll cut that.
That shows that I didn't do my homework.
No, my bio says I lived in Brazil for a bit, so it can totally be confusing. Don't worry. And I play a Brazilian in another video game, so don't worry. You're golden. I'm not offended.
Thank you very much.